Scarface: The World Is Yours is one of the greatest open world games of all time. It was released in 2006 and was developed by Radical Entertainment. For those who don't know, the game begins at the end of the movie at Tony's mansion and sets a what-if story scenario. What if Tony had survived the mansion shooting at the end of the movie? As of 2022, the game license is currently expired and you can no longer purchase this game digitally. Vivendi Games, the publisher for Scarface: The World Is Yours, is no more, since they merged with Activision to form Activision Blizzard, and the rights for the Scarface IP was given to Vivendi Games for a certain duration, and the license has expired by now. Currently, Universal Studios owns the rights to the Scarface IP and would have to reapprove the Scarface game license again if Activision Blizzard ever decided to remaster this game in the future or make sequels. Vivendi president Phil O'Neill wanted Scarface to turn into a franchise. He is quoted saying, "A Scarface 2, a Scarface 3, a Scarface 4, and consecutive iterations of that product are a really important component of what we're trying to do here." And we now know, from exclusive gameplay footage released by Mafia Game Videos, that a Scarface 2 was supposed to take place in Las Vegas. Scarface: The World Is Yours was released on PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, Nintendo Wii, and PC. The game was supposed to release on Xbox 360, however that got cancelled. You can still find the SKU, the stock keeping unit number, for the cancelled 360 version on Best Buy's website. I imagine the 360 version would be the same as the other console versions, except that it would be in 720p in resolution. In this video, I will compare all 5 versions of Scarface: The World Is Yours: the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, the Wii, the PC, and the Remastered Project Mod for PC, to show you which is the best version. Each version of Scarface: The World Is Yours is different in its own way, and I'll point out all the differences. The PlayStation 2 version of Scarface: The World Is Yours is the most popular version. For starters, most gamers are completely unaware that a PC version even exists, so the majority of people just play the console versions, such as the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Wii, but the PlayStation 2 is the most popular version out of all of them. Starting right off the bat, you can see that the graphics look like PlayStation 2 graphics. The native in-game resolution for Scarface on PS2 is 480p, and the game is 30 frames per second on PlayStation 2. The feature that makes the PlayStation 2 version of Scarface unique is the blood effects on Tony. This feature is exclusive to the PlayStation 2 version of the game, and it's not available in the Xbox, Wii, or PC versions. In the game, when you kill a lot of people up close, blood will appear on Tony's face. And if Tony gets injured and has low HP, blood will appear on his current outfit. This feature of blood appearing on Tony's face and outfit is only available on the PlayStation 2 version. The Xbox version of Scarface: The World Is Yours is similar to the PlayStation 2 version, but there are also some minor differences. First, let's talk about the similarities. Just like the PlayStation 2 version, the Xbox version of Scarface has a native in-game resolution of 480p, and just like the PlayStation 2 version, the game runs at 30 frames per second. Unfortunately, the Xbox version is missing the blood effects feature for Tony, so when Tony kills a lot of people up close or gets low HP, blood will not appear on his face or outfit in the Xbox version. Another difference in the Xbox version is in the settings tab. In the display options, there is no option for widescreen or progressive. The PlayStation 2 version has these options. The Nintendo Wii version of Scarface is similar to the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions, but it also has its own differences. For starters, the Wii version, like the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions, is 480p in resolution and runs at 30 frames per second. Like the Xbox version, the Wii version of Scarface is missing the blood effects feature for Tony, so when Tony kills a lot of people up close or gets low HP, blood will not appear on his face or outfit in the Wii version. Now, what makes the Wii version unique that is not present in any other version of Scarface is that the Wii version forces you to play the tutorial. In the PlayStation 2, Xbox, PC versions, you can skip the tutorial mission. However, in the Wii version, you are forced to play the tutorial. Also, the Wii version requires you to play using the nunchuck controller for aiming. And to be quite honest, playing with the nunchuck controller is easier and more fun than I expected. It's way better than using a mouse or a controller. The Wii version's tutorial is also completely different from all the other versions of Scarface. In the Wii version's tutorial, the first thing you do is choose your camera speed. There are 4 camera preferences to choose from: casual, normal, advanced, and expert. Each has a different camera rotation speed and a central area for aiming. Casual is the slowest camera speed. It takes quite a while to turn side to side. Normal camera speed is slightly faster than casual, and advanced camera speed is pretty fast. The final camera speed is expert, and its camera speed is the fastest, but it takes quite a bit of skill to point on objects with precision. Turning the camera via the nunchuck controller is very important to kill enemies and look around. In the Wii version, there is an instructor present in the tutorial. The instructor is the same model as the dock boss from the Nacho Contreras mission. The tutorial says, "This officer is your second sergeant. He will take you through basic training. You become a member of the Revolutionary Armed Forces." In the PS2, Xbox, PC versions, there is no instructor present in the tutorial mission. A funny moment in the Wii tutorial is when a woman appears on her knees begging, and the game says, "This civilian was caught stealing our rations. Make an example out of her." Her purpose for being there is so that the game explains to the player that Tony doesn't and can't kill civilians. When you try to shoot the lady, Tony says one of his lines how he can't kill civilians. And the second sergeant then asks Tony, "What are you waiting for? I'll do it myself." Then he executes the civilian woman for stealing food. The rest of the tutorial mission is the same as the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC version. The PC version of Scarface: The World Is Yours is the most underrated version. Most people are unaware that a PC version even exists, and some people refuse to play the PC version because it can be a hassle getting it to run. The PC version will not work on modern computers. You have to install patches and fixes made by modders to optimize the game for modern computers. Here are the recommended specifications for Scarface on PC from 2006. After you install the necessary patches to get Scarface: The World Is Yours working on modern computers, you can see that it outshines the console versions in various ways. For example, the in-game native resolution can go up to 4K resolution. In comparison, the PS2, Xbox, and Wii versions have a native resolution of 480p, and the PC version can be played at a smooth 60 frames per second. However, playing above 60 FPS can break the speed of the game. In comparison, the PS2, Xbox, and Wii versions are 30 FPS. Unfortunately, the PC version of Scarface is missing the blood effects feature for Tony, so when Tony kills a lot of people up close or gets low HP, blood will not appear on his face or outfit in the PC version. Also, the PC version does not have native controller support, so if you want to play the PC version of Scarface with the controller after installing it, you have to install a didn't-put-a file to your game. In the future, I will upload the file and create a tutorial video on how to play the PC version with the Xbox 360 wired controller. The method should work for all controllers. In all my Scarface videos that I've uploaded on YouTube, I have used the Xbox 360 wired controller to play the PC version. I have never used a mouse and keyboard. Another issue with the PC version is the poor mouse sensitivity. You have to download your mouse's program to increase or decrease the sensitivity for the game. If you have a Razer mouse, then download the Razer Synapse program to increase or decrease the mouse sensitivity. And if you have a Logitech mouse, then download the Logitech G Hub program to increase or decrease the mouse sensitivity. One feature that the PC version of Scarface is missing that is available on all other versions is the broken windshield effects. In the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Wii versions, vehicle windshields can get damaged. When you damage a vehicle windshield on the console versions, it breaks the glass, and even when the windshield is broken, there's still shards of glass in the corners. However, in the PC version, there's no broken windshield effects available at all. There's either a complete windshield or nothing. The PC version is missing the broken windshield effects. Despite the lack of blood effects for Tony and the lack of broken windshield effects, playing on PC at 4K resolution and 60 frames per second feels like a completely different game compared to the console versions. It feels like the game got remastered because the console versions are restricted to 480p resolution and 30 frames per second, and there's even a mod on PC that makes it even better. The Remastered Project Mod makes the game look much better in my opinion. The Remastered Project Mod is free and can be downloaded on Nexus Mods. However, it is important to note that the Patreon version has the latest changes and removes the black bars from the cutscenes. Some features from the Remastered Project Mod are: all NPC textures have been enhanced with Tony's face/suits/models remastered and colors corrected. This means Tony's outfits are now movie accurate. For example, in the vanilla game, Tony wears a gold chain with the Hawaiian shirt. However, this is not movie accurate. In the movie, Tony never wears a gold chain with the Hawaiian t-shirt. The mod fixes this and other outfits to match the movie. Also, it adds new outfits via the sunglass variations. And the missing effects found in the PS2 Wii versions have been restored in the PC version, with alternate PS2 and Wii gun sparks. New background music and cut effects for some cutscenes. Lots of textures ranging from adverts to billboards have been modified. The blood effect for Sosa at the end has been restored. Overall, the Remastered Project Mod does a very nice job at enhancing the game. It's still a work in progress and it lacks the windshield effects and the blood effects for Tony's face and outfit. If you want to see an in-depth video comparison of the original game versus the Remastered Project Mod, then check out the video that I created. Link is in the description below. Out of all the console versions, the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo Wii, the PlayStation 2 is the best version. The PlayStation 2 is the only version that has blood effects for Tony when injured. Not even the PC version has this feature. In the PS2 version, the shadows are darker, which makes the lighting pop out. The Wii version's brightness is greater than the PS2 and Xbox versions, but the colors look faded due to a yellow tint. The PlayStation 2 version is clearly the winner if you want to relive this game on console as it was originally released. Before you go online and buy the PlayStation 2 version of the game, keep in mind that the PS2, Xbox, and Wii versions have a native resolution of 480p, and they all play at 30 frames per second. You can use an emulator to play at 60 FPS and higher resolutions, but the 60 FPS won't be as smooth as the PC version. Now, if we compare all versions of Scarface The World Is Yours, the PlayStation 2 version, the Xbox version, the Nintendo Wii version, the PC version, and the Remastered Project Mod for PC, the winner is between the PC and Remastered Project Mod for PC. It's a personal preference, really. In conclusion, the PS2, Xbox, and Wii versions have a native resolution of 480p, and they all run games at 30 frames per second. On the other hand, the PC version's native resolution can be set to 4K and it can be played at 60 frames per second. Also, the PC version has the best draw distance. You can view more objects far away compared to the PS2, Xbox, and Wii versions. However, the PC version has the worst colors out of all the 5 versions. The colors are washed out and have a slight blue tint. This makes the game look dull and washed out. The Wii version would be the second worst in terms of colors since it has a yellow tint. The Remastered Project Mod colors are vibrant and accurate to the movie, and it also has a reshade to mimic the PlayStation 2's version. Let me know down in the comments which version of Scarface The World Is Yours is the best version in your opinion. In the end, it really comes down to personal preference. And if you want to see an in-depth comparison of the original PC version versus the Remastered Project Mod, then check out the video in the description below. Thank you.
Place, park, scene dark, silvery moon is shining through the trees. Cast to me you, sound of kisses floating on the breeze. Act one,